Alright, I'm going to try this video again. I already loaded one. I guess it missed half the stuff I was doing in there because I didn't have it aimed right. So, taking the oil pump back apart here. Loctite's already set up in the screws there. Good. So we'll just take it apart and put it back together again. These are the T27 head quarter 20 screws. Got my new O-ring in there. It's already got assembly lube in it. I'm guessing you can see it. I'm trying to do it so you can see it here. That's our gears right there. They just pop out. Like I said in the other video, you're gonna lap the mounting surface here on the pump just to check it for any high spots in case somebody ever torqued it before. Wipe off the excess assembly lube here. Your return gears are right here. Everything's already lubed. I'm just going to slide that down over the pump shaft there. And we'll stick our return in there. And that's our spacer plate that goes in between the gear sets. It's got some little divots in here, or side markers where it lines up at. So that thing's going to go in there flat, or should go in there flat to match up with the marks. Just like that. And then your feed gears are just going to slide down in there like so. Let me get my Loctite back out here. Put a little more blue on there. Just to be sure. Well, this Loctite's gotten expensive. And your pump, remember your feed, if you look on here where that little knob is that feeds up into the cases there, this or actually that sucks out of the cases. That's a suction line out of the bottom end. Your pump body, your feed line is going to be this one here. It faces the same way as that knob does right there. And your two short bolts are just going to go in the outside rear and inside front. Give that a turn, make sure it isn't binding in there. Everything's moving good. And I'm just going to go ahead and torque these. Should be able to hold it down. It's not that fierce amount of torque in there. Give it a little turn. I'm going to have to go hold this in the vise so I'm not screwing the threads up. And that should be it for that. They're all torqued 100 inch-pounds, or a little bit less than 8 foot-pounds if you don't have an inch-pound torque wrench. If you don't have an inch-pound and you don't feel comfortable doing foot-pound conversion, just go get a loaner tool from AutoZone or something for an inch-pound torque wrench. I'm sure they'll lend you one for, it's supposed to be free, but I think they make you do a deposit. Don't know. Usually don't borrow stuff from them. Rare occasion, yeah. But that's it for the pump body. Spins nice and easy now. I'm gonna go prep this thing, and we're gonna go ahead and stick the pump on there now since it's all together. And I got everything out already. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and get ready to stick the pump on there. So that's our high dollar pump gasket. That's our pump. This thing only goes on here one way. It's like that. If you try and flip it around the other way, the bolt holes don't line up because it's offset. So it's just going to go just like that. And then this is the foamette gasket. Originally this had a paper gasket close to the same color as this, but it was paper. This is the metal gasket with the foam on the outside of it, like a chromatic type gasket, which I guess Harley switched to. Everybody's switching that stuff. Works good. So that's our pump. I've already cleaned our mounting bolts with lacquer thinner. You can use brake cleaner or whatever. I use lacquer thinner because it's really cheaper than buying individual cans of brake clean. It's cheaper for me anyway, and it actually works a little bit better. And it's not as toxic as brake clean is. Put a little bit of our blue Loctite on our mounting bolts there. Move my camera around a little bit because I'm going to have to lay down here to put these in. Get on down here. Get out of there. started a little bit there. Get this back one in here. Now we're just really going to snug those up a little bit, not really tight, just enough to hold the pump up, and then just a little bit more. So just barely snug. Okay, hopefully you can see that, or saw it. There's really not much to see there. Now since I'm right here, before I tighten it up, really, so they're not really tight, they're just kind of snugged on there, kind of having a little turn. Gonna spin the crank over a couple of times. Then we'll go ahead and torque them. Back down here. And that's our pump installation after assembly. Now I'm going to leave everything off there. I'll leave the cams out until I get the oil lines on there so I can prime everything. It's just a lot easier to prime the pump if you can sit there and spin the crank by hand. Get oil flowing up through the oil filter housing. Or actually, I'll leave this line off to begin with, the feed line to the front, until oil starts to dribble out of that fitting at the front there. Then I'll put that in and tighten it down, continue turning the motor over by hand until I'm getting filter up to the filter housing. And then we'll put the cam and lifters back in it and start assembling the top end. But have to finish doing the cam cover first. I guess I've already got it cut and just finish it up, making it look halfway decent. And we'll put it back together. We'll go from there. Appreciate you watching. Sorry you couldn't see the first video of the oil pump assembly. That was just messed up. Thought I had everything on camera, but I guess not. I guess I wasn't holding the parts in the right place. Hopefully I got them in there this time. I think I do. It's pretty straightforward assembly there. We'll go from there. Let's get this buttoned up and go get ready to eat some dinner.